Greetings once again to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video is being seen and shared. It's Celine Driver once again. I've got another unboxing video for you today. As you probably already saw from the title, this is a vintage unboxing. This watch is 1970 build, according to the serial number. I'd say that, let's see, 80, 90, 2000, 2010. I'd say almost 50 years old counts as vintage. But, you know, somebody's going to argue with me about that, so I won't dwell on that. Anyway, I have the Seiko box. Now, full and fair disclosure, the watch I bought didn't come with a box, didn't come with paperwork. I bought the box and the paperwork on eBay separately. I know that the likelihood of this box, inner and outer, going to this particular watch is extremely low. But I liked for my watches to have boxes and paperwork whenever possible. So I went ahead and procured something that was supposed to be period correct. Getting into the, upside down. Getting into the outer box, we have a manual I picked up, analog Quartz with chronograph, alarm, and date hand, caliber 7T34, which is what this watch's guts are, a 7T34 movement. It was actually very useful when I got the watch. It wasn't set correctly, and for me, and the book helped me get through it. Nice plastic Bakelite, maybe, I don't know, box. Inside we have, ta-da! I love this part, even though I already have worn the watch. I have a beautiful 7T34-6A09 caliber. A beautiful pilot's watch with the pilot's bezel, 4 subdials, chronograph with alarm. It just presents beautifully. It really does. Now, the idea for this watch was actually, I was watching a video recently done by Tristano over on Urban Gentry, and he had picked up one of these watches. It was a gold case instead of the silver and gold two-tone, and it was I believe it was a black face with the white subdials, and it's a Flightmaster. Now, the reason that he bought it, I believe, was it was a predecessor to the SNA 411, which I also have, what he calls Flighty. It's a Flightmaster to me. It's a newer version. It's still in production as far as I know. And I have one, which you've seen in a previous video. But I thought that that watch was very attractive on its own, and that the symmetry of having Flighty's older brother was an interesting one. And I was actually looking for the one that he had because I really liked it, but all the ones I saw were beaten to hell and gone. And then I came across this one on a Google search, and I'll talk about where I got it from and who I got it from here in a minute, because I really want to give a shout out to him, because he did, he's just excellent when it comes to customer service. And I wanted to make sure that people knew about him, because hell, I've already made another purchase from the guy. Right after I got this one, I found another one on his page, store, if you will, and I bought another one from him, and that should be here soon. But I really like this watch. I didn't think when I bought it, I was actually already planning to dismount this bracelet and put it on a collar strap because I was afraid this thing was going to be noisy and jingy jangly and look like hell. But when I got it, it really actually looked like it was in good shape except for the bottom here, the clasp. But I took a Cape Cod cloth to the whole watch, except for the glass, of course. And it cleaned up beautifully, and a lot of those scratches just kind of melted away and took a lot of tarnish and old age off, and it really cleaned up, I think, pretty well. I mean, I didn't want to take it to the extreme, but I really liked the way the watch cleaned up, and very happy with it. I love the blue bezel, which is a bidirectional slide rule style pilot's bezel, which I don't know how to use, and I'm not going to go into now. And yes, I noticed that the inner chapter ring does look like it doesn't quite line up like it should, at least, you know, on camera. Maybe it does a bit. I guess it lines up with the 12 o'clock on the watch. But I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Very complicated little watch here. It has pushers A, B, and C. It has dual crowns. This crown mainly deals with the alarm. It's alarm / dual time. I'm still trying to get my head around it, but at least I got it. The lower time to sync up with the main time. I'll figure that rest out later. It's in the book. I'm too lazy to figure it out. That's the 6 o'clock subdial. The 12 o'clock subdial is the chronograph minutes. The 9 o'clock subdial is your running seconds. And the 3 o'clock subdial is your date, which you can see the date there. It is, I believe, the correct date. Pusher A obviously starts and stops the chronograph. It's an old pusher. It doesn't have a click to it. I mean, you more or less have to look at the chronograph seconds hand to know that it's working, but it's obviously working. And it lines up after this subdial wasn't lined up when I got it, but a quick read of the manual got that thing lined up. As you can see, I'm going to let it run so you see that the minute register works. Lovely overall watch. The case back is in great shape. Except for the scratches that were on the clasp itself, which is your typical Seiko fold-over stamped steel clasp. Nothing special about it, but it still works. And it closes with a very satisfying click. And I was able to size the watch without taking any links out, which I really didn't want to do because, I don't know, I just have a feeling that this is a pins and collar or some thing that's going to tick me off. And as you can see, the chronograph is still running, and you can see that a minute was registered on the subdial. So you can stop it, press the B button, and everything swings back to the reset position. So everything is, I know the alarm is working. I heard it last night, so I know everything is working. And not bad for a 1970 build date watch. December 1970. So this watch is coming up on its, 49th year? Not bad looking watch for 49 years old. I mean, I wish I was in that good a shape when I was 49. Well, actually, I wasn't in bad shape, but never mind. The only thing I cannot find out from Googling all over the place and reading everything I could find on these watches, I cannot find out what this crystal's made out of. I'm assuming it's either hardlex or mineral. I really doubt it's a sapphire, but I'm willing to be wrong here. But I'm going to get, if somebody held a gun in my head and said, pick one, I would say mineral, given the age. And I don't know that hardlex was around in 1970, so I'm going to say it's a mineral crystal. It's clear. It's in really good shape. you can see if the light hits it just right. There are scratches on it, so obviously it's not sapphire. But you only see the crystal, the scratches, if the light hits it right. Otherwise, it's a clear crystal, and it doesn't interfere with the viewing pleasure. I'll give you a wrist shot of it. I'm going to be wearing this watch today. It is really a nice piece. So, as you all know, I wear my watches high off the wrist, and I have a 7¼ inch wrist, so it fits me just fine. You can see the lugs land just nicely, and it just presents overall really, really nicely, and very happy with it. Now, what I got here? I got my sheet of facts for the watch nerds out there. Let's see. We have, as I said, this is a Flightmaster, vintage Flightmaster quartz chronograph with alarm, 7T34-6A as an Alpha 09. It is the predecessor. I don't know if it's the immediate predecessor, but it is the predecessor to the famous Flightmaster SNA 411. And I'm sorry if you can hear the lawnmowers outside. It's lawn day here in where I live. It is a 44 millimeter case, according to my research. 21 millimeter lug width, so it's an oddball size. So if you're going to buy a strap for it or something, I guess you would size down to a 20. Sizing up to a 22 probably isn't going to work. I'm leaving it alone. Water resistance, according to the back, is 15 bar. Should say that right there somewhere, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Yeah, no, it's 15 bar, which I believe translates to 150 meter, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But 15 bar water resistance, so you know it's okay if somebody pushes you in the pool at a party or something. The watch isn't going to die, but I wouldn't scuba with the damn thing. And as I said, according to a serial number translator app, a website I found on the web, I punched in the serial number and it translates to a December 1970 build date. So there you have it, a beautiful Flightmaster, which I'm going to wear today. At least for the for a while anyway. I'll probably switch up to something later. Maybe I'll switch out to the other Flightmaster later today. Who knows? Now I wanted to say something about this guy. Now I found him on of all places Etsy, ETSY.com. Yes, I go on Etsy and look around. Luis Gonzalez. Big Lou Antiques and Rare Treasures. And there you see all his information there. He has an eBay store. He's on Chrono24. He's on Insta. He's on Facebook. There's his email. There's his website. There's contact information. And I haven't met the guy personally. I've chatted with him on the Etsy messaging system. He's very, very prompt responding to messages. His prices are really good. I found this watch about $50, $60 cheaper than everybody else that was selling similar watches on eBay. His price was much lower. I've already bought another watch from him. I believe he's shipping it today. That's an interesting watch, really. He has about, when I was on there the last time, he had about 550 odd just watches. I mean, all kinds of Citizens, Bulivas, Seikos, some brands I'd never heard of before. But I like this guy. I like dealing with him, and if that opinion changes, I'll post an update on it, but I don't think it's going to change. I really like this guy. He's got some interesting pieces on his page and on eBay. And he's just a good guy to deal with, and his prices are pretty good, and his shipping times are really good. So if you're looking for somebody to deal with, and you're looking for vintage watches from various makers, check the guy out. I think he's worth looking for. So I'm going to end my video there with my shout out to Big Lou. I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you did, sir. And I know you'll be seeing this video when I upload it because you subscribe to me, which I appreciate. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Comments, questions, suggestions down at the bottom. I read them all, I respond to them all, and I delete the garbage, and I block the poster. You know who you are. Although one guy, I just deleted his post, and I'm going to give him a second chance because we are acquaintances and friends on another guy's channel. I'm going to give you another chance, Bart, but only one more. And if you are new to the channel and you like what you see, please click the subscribe button. Click the bell icon next to it so you're alerted when I upload new content. I appreciate all my subs, I really do, and I thank you. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again soon.